Hello everyone. Today in this session we are going to discuss about DNS, Domain Name System. In this session I will tell you what is DNS and how to install and configure DNS in your Windows server. DNS is nothing but it is the domain name system. It is mainly used to translate the domain name into IP address and IP address into domain. For example, whenever we are searching for one address in our search bar in Google Chrome or some other browser, for example www.facebook.com, it will redirect to one server. Before reaching the server, in the network, in the internet, it will search for the domain name. Here I will show you how to configure DNS server. Open Server Manager. Click on Add Roles and Features. Here in Windows Server, the DNS is considered as a role. Now we are going to install the DNS role. Before going to install, you must ensure that your domain have an administrative password. It should be a strong password, and you need to assign a static IP for your domain controller. In our previous video, we have already discussed. In our previous session, we have already discussed how to assign a static IP. Execute the command ncpa.cpl. Now right click on Ethernet. Here you can see IPv4. Oh no, but by default it is configured as a dynamic IP address. Here we need a static IP address. So now I am configuring a static IP. I am giving 192.168.1.10 and the preferred DNS server address. I am giving the same IP because I am configuring the DNS in the same server. Now click on Next. Now before going to click on Next, you check whether the IP is configured correctly. Open command prompt, execute the command ipconfig. Here the IPv4 address is assigned to the domain server called 192.168.1.10. Click on Next. Here we are doing role-based or feature-based installation. Click on Next and select the role which you have to install. Select the DNS server. You can read the description from the right side. Click on Next, Add Feature. Here you can add any additional features you want to install with the same role. Click on Next. Check the checkbox, restart the destination server automatically if required. Click on Install. Now the DNS role is installing. Please wait for till installation completes. I will show you how to configure DNS. Open Server Manager. From Tools, click on DNS. Here you can see the forward lookup zone and reverse lookup zone. These are the very important things in DNS. The forward lookup zone will convert the domain name into IP address, and the reverse lookup zone will convert IP address into domain name. Here we are going to configure one forward lookup zone. Right click on forward lookup zone, click on new zone. Here you can see primary zone, secondary zone and step zone. The primary zone is necessary when you are creating the DNS within the domain server. and it will store the DNS server details in a text format, and the secondary DNS is necessary when you are creating a DNS for connecting other server or any other network, and the stub zone is only creating to identify your domain name or IP address from the domain name system. Here I am choosing primary zone. Now click on next. Here you can see Active Directory Zone Replication Scope. Here we are installing the DNS within the domain controller. We are not choosing the forest domain controller because we are accessing the DNS within this domain controller. Okay, now we are going to give a name for our zone. For example, I am giving itengineer.local. For example, I am giving itengineer.local. Click on next. Here you can give dynamic update option. Now I am giving do not allow dynamic updates. Click on next. Now we have created a new zone called itengineer.local. Type is Active Directory Integrated Primary. Click on install. Next. Click on finish. Now we need to configure one reverse lookup zone. Click on new zone. Here also we are creating a primary zone. We are creating under the domain controller. We are choosing IPv4 reverse lookup zone because we are configured the static IP address for the DNS is IPv4. Now enter your network ID. Network ID will be the first 3 octet of your IP address. I have configured the IP address 192.168.1.10. Now click on do not allow dynamic updates. Actually the updates will be allowing the dynamic updates in the system, but I am giving the optional update. So you refresh next. The secondary, first of all you refresh the reverse lookup zone. Now you got the new pointer option. Here you provide the IP address of your DNS server. The host IP address will be 192.168.1.10 as you have configured in the DNS preferred address when you are configuring the static IP address. Forward look. Now you have configured both the forward lookup zone and the reverse lookup zone. Now you can connect vice versa. For that, you can check the lookup is working correctly. Now you can check if the reverse lookups are working fine. So open your NX lookup command prompt. It will show the IP address and the host name of your DNS server. I hope you guys understood what is DNS server and how to configure DNS. If you have any doubt, please comment below. Thank you for watching.